good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for Social Media 101, the Equestrian Business Professional Development webinar. We're so happy this evening to be joined by Kim Bowden of KTB Creative Group, a specialized marketing agency for equestrian athletes and small businesses. And with that, Kim, I will pass it over to you.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm really excited to go over Social Media 101 with you for the equestrian business. So tonight, we are going to talk about several different things. I'll start with how we use social media to grow our businesses. I will discuss the platforms that we can use: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, etc. I will talk about promoting equestrian events using social media, creating meaningful content. I'll go over some content examples and give you a few final tips, and then I will take any questions that you might have. So first things first, how can I use social media to grow my business? So social media, has a variety of benefits, as I'm sure most of you have heard already. Social media allows you to increase brand awareness. With nearly half the world's population using social media platforms, they're a natural place to reach new and highly targeted potential customers. Social media allows you to interact with those customers. Social networks give you the opportunity to interact directly with customers and fans, and likewise, social media gives them the chance to interact directly with your brand. Social media helps to increase web traffic and SEO. So social media posts and ads are key ways to drive traffic to your website. Sharing great content from your blog or website to your social channels is also a great way to get readers as soon as you publish a new post. On top of that, every time you post as your business, it amplifies your SEO. Social media allows you to generate leads and boost sales. So social media offers an easy way for potential customers to express interest in your business and your products. Social media allows you to monitor relevant conversations. People expect brands to be available on social media and seek out their social accounts for customer service. I know that this is a huge plus for people. They can go right to social media accounts and interact with the brands if they have any issues or if they have any great comments to leave, etc. Social media allows you to learn more about your customers, which is very important in today's day and age. Customers really want to be able to trust a brand. Social media allows for companies to get to know more about their customers, not just from a data standpoint, but also from an emotional standpoint. Social media allows the companies to stay on top of mind. So social allows you to put yourself in front of your customers and potential customers as much or more than the competition. And social media obviously lets you engage or attract sponsors. This is more for riders. All sponsors like to be seen and promoted, so a huge plus. All right, so what platforms can I use? When it comes to social platforms, you want to go where your users are the most active. So there are a few different ways you can go about finding where your audience is hanging out online. And one of the most straightforward ways is a simple customer survey. Ask questions like what social sites they use, where they get their information online, etc. If you have an email list, that's a great way to get this information. If you have a website, you can throw it up on your website. If you have a very small social media following, go ahead and ask everybody on there. Great way to figure out what you want to be focusing on more. So I'll start with Facebook. Again, I won't cover all of these, but they're there if you want to explore. Facebook is the largest social platform with over 2 billion monthly users. Facebook is great for lead generation and is a great spot for a variety of content, including polls, product highlights, photos, videos, and blogs. Facebook is also a good platform for building relationships, showing the human side of your brand and business, and turning leads into loyal followers and customers. Instagram, this platform has over 1 billion monthly users and over 500 million daily active users. If you have an Instagram business account, which I highly recommend, you will unlock a world of features to help promote your business. Some of these include having a call to action button for your page visitors, the ability to promote your post with ad dollars, and access to account insights. Another one of the benefits of Instagram, it's actually an organic platform. So you can see a lot of engagement on your posts without having to put money behind them. This means that you can strengthen your relationship with followers and potential customers, all at no extra cost to you or your business. Engagement with brands on Instagram is actually 10 times higher than engagement with brands on Facebook, 54 times higher than on Pinterest, and 84 times higher than on Twitter. The next platform is Twitter. So Twitter is the go-to platform for your business if it's about immediacy and if you want to reach out to followers with breaking news, announcements, important messages, and other in-the-moment information. Most users on Twitter are under 50, and the content that Twitter handles the best is digestible text, brief blasts of information. Those are really the best content examples for this platform. So finally, TikTok. So TikTok is definitely for somebody with a sense of humor. TikTok presents a great opportunity to grow brand awareness, and this is achieved through balancing general humorous content with brand promotion. So a further benefit is how the TikTok algorithm considers the location of the user. So TikTok videos that were made in the same country, city, or suburb as you are prioritized in your feed. So this can help connect with your local community in a completely unique way. TikTok content is limited to videos. This also sort of works with Instagram Reels. It's basically the same type of thing. I actually have a lot of clients who take their TikToks and put them on Instagram Reels. So, just another example of how that can be used. So how do I create meaningful quality content? So the content that you post on social media has the power to turn your brand into a well-known name and turn your followers into fans. This kind of impact only comes from having a solid social media content strategy. The way to stand out on social is to identify specific goals, create valuable posts that align with those goals, and distribute content on the right platforms. Then you can measure your results and fine tune your strategy over a period of time. So first you have to find out who you're marketing to, identify why you're marketing to them, and understand what you want to help them with by connecting them with your brand. Who, what, why. Some ways to cultivate that creative content include sharing positive statistics and news, especially nowadays, people love happy things. Repurposing user-generated content, testimonials, photos, etc. So like if you are having an event, for example, you can repost photos, what people are saying, etc. Engage in that conversation. You want to make sure that you personalize your content. So if you have specific logos or specific font types or specific colors, if you're making graphics or posting photos and you can incorporate those elements into them, it's very important that you do so just to sort of stay on brand. You want to use less promotional content. So now sort of going to those, flyers and that type of thing. People don't really engage with those as much as they would engage with just a very beautiful photo and some nice text. So you don't want, your whole feed to just be graphic. You want it to be some nice photos and some nice videos and that sort of eye-catching thing. Make sure posts look aesthetically neat and attractive. And so for this, I recommend finding caption break apps, finding font apps, working with photo editing apps, etc. Interact with your audience. Again, if you're hosting an event or if people are talking about how much they love your product or talking about if they don't like your product, definitely want to keep those conversations going and figure out what you can do to engage with them more. And you can cross post or regenerate content in different ways. So this is a little bit of the, quality over quantity. If you have some great content that you can repurpose in different ways, I'll show you in my next content examples how you can do that a little bit. So before we move forward, some of my favorite apps for creating that content, I've listed them over on the side. So Over and Canva are more for like graphics, putting text on photo, that type of thing. Canva, if you're trying to do, bigger ads or high res PDF print stuff, I highly recommend Canva or Canva Pro. The Over doesn't really do high res, big images. It's more just for social media. Dazzle and Unfold are the two apps that I use for my stories. So like my Facebook and Instagram stories, I use those for that. Fonts Keyboard just gives you some fun different fonts to play around with. Hashtag Expert helps you when you're trying to figure out what hashtags are trending for the topic that you want to, be tagging, etc. Giphy for GIFs. There's also a Giphy creator app that you can download if you search Giphy in the stores, and that can help you with those. Repost, again, if you're resharing this Repost Plus, I believe you have to pay for it, but it's not very expensive. Bitly shortens your links, just makes them look a little bit nicer. The RFV is video editing. I also use iMovie. And then the one that I think is the most important, especially if you have an Instagram for your business, is called Linktree. It's very easy to use. It's free. It lets you customize it a little bit, but basically what that is, it's a place where all of your links can live. So that way you can post, in your feed, link in bio. And that way you don't have to be changing that link every single day. People won't, scroll upon a post that you made 3 days ago, click on the link and have it be something different. This just allows you a little bit more flexibility when it comes to, posting the links on Instagram. So the types of content that you can use. I mean, you can create, whatever content you want to, but these are just some examples of content that I like to use on my own accounts. Blogs, videos, product service posts, testimonials, photos, stories are a big one, and then hashtags. So this is the last time I'll talk about hashtags today, but essentially what a hashtag is it's a folder. So when you have your Instagram feed, and they do use them on Twitter and Facebook as well, but I'm going to focus on Instagram because that's really what they're dominant on. Those hashtags actually allow you to categorize your post in 20 different ways. So if you have an event rider and there you post a photo going cross country, you're going to say hashtag eventing, hashtag cross country, hashtag eventer, hashtag go eventing. Make sure that all of your hashtags are relevant, because Instagram will actually flag accounts that reuse hashtags, especially if they're not relevant to your post, and you won't know that you've been flagged. You'll just notice that you've had a lot less engagement on those posts. So the types of content that you can create. Again, here's an example of a blog that I did for Show Plus with Sarah Lockman, and we actually were able to repurpose that on Facebook and then again on Instagram. Again, you post a blog. This blog was quite long. You just take a little excerpt of it, and it's great, Facebook and Instagram content. Videos. The three main types of videos I work with are for Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, and then the Reels, which is new to Instagram. So Reels is basically like TikTok, but it's on Instagram. And right now I'm really pushing everybody to use it as much as possible, because not everybody has jumped on the bandwagon yet. And because of that, Instagram is taking those Reels and putting them at the top of everybody's news feeds. I know, like, I've been scrolling through this past week and really noticing a ton of Reels, over regular posts. So highly recommend doing some reels. Even if you're not comfortable, just play around with it. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just social media. But you can definitely get some more followers with the reels. So then in the middle, we have just a clip of Sabine, before she horse shows. And again, all of those things at the top are her sponsors, all those names. Some riders, again, like to do that differently. She likes to post hers front and center. And then to the right, we have a TikTok, which we actually repurpose and use that on the Team Irwin Facebook and Instagram pages. So again, just another example of how you can take different types of content and put them in different places. Next, we have our product service posts. So as you can see on the right, we have a Cyber Monday Facebook ad, which we actually did run as an ad and then posted it on Instagram as well. And then again, this is just a little bit of an example of where Twitter comes in. So over on the left, we have just an updated software announcement that we wanted to push out quickly to our subscribers. Testimonials. This is two different ways that I like to use testimonials. It's actually a great example of how you can take one piece of content and use it twice. You could video the testimonial and then transcribe it and use it like we did on the left. Or you can take the video, add your logo to it, put a nice caption on there, and make it into a video post. And then on my personal page, for example, and also on the athletes their pages that I run, quality eye-catching photos are really important. And so here are just a few examples of some that I have used to promote my own pages. Stories. These are my favorite type of content that I recommend for people who really want to still be very involved with their pages in a personal way. As you can see, you can make all different types of stories. The beauty of the stories is they're not there forever. So they disappear after 24 hours, so it doesn't sit there all the time. It does go away. So as you can see, we did another Cyber Monday post in the middle. This is a great thing if you have any sponsored riders that use your products. We recently did one for Team Irwin, where they went in and did a whole day Instagram story takeover. They posted videos, they had interviews, they had quotes and photos and questions and that type of thing. So it's just a fun way to interact with them and get people, clicking on that story. To the right, Lauren Spryzer does a really good job with her Ask Me Anything takeovers. So essentially what that is 24 hours, you have that amount of time to ask for whatever you want. That's another really great way to interact with your followers. So I highly recommend taking advantage of those polls and all of that fun stuff. So next, we'll talk about promoting equestrian events. So first things first, events can increase profit and sales, build your brand, spread awareness about your company and what you do, and establish connections between you and your customers or community. Facebook events are one of the best tools out there, as they'll not only help you spread the word of what's coming up, provide users with valuable information they need, interact and respond directly to comments and questions from potential attendees, but they'll also allow you to accumulate social proof on the platform. This means more visibility. When everyone sees that their friends are interested or attending, they'll want to check it out too. So my 3 biggest recommendations for promoting equestrian events: create an event page on Facebook, link that to Strider, collect relevant registration information. That's how I do all of my clients' events. That's how I do my own events, how I collect relevant information, etc. You can post a countdown on Instagram stories that gets people excited for the event that's coming up. And then you can also create a hashtag that pertains to that event. And so what will happen when people start clicking on that hashtag, all of the relevant posts will come up from that event, or that are leading up to that event that you've already created. And then they can sort of have all the information in one place. So social media shouldn't feel like a burden. It should feel like an asset, especially because for the most part, it is free. So my 5 final tips for the evening. Tip number 1, make sure you have business pages. So get a business page. It's easier to make this mistake on Instagram than on Facebook. Facebook, you kind of, have to do it if unless you create like a friend profile, which you shouldn't do. Um, so Facebook and Instagram have great measurement tools that allow you to target specific audiences, run ads, boost posts, track metrics, and know what's working and when it's working. My second tip, find the balance between unpolished and polished content. So the power of social media derives from the fact that polished content floats around with unpolished content. Your life kind of meets in the middle. So it's a compromise. You have to have effective and engaging content on your platform, and you have to have balance. You don't need a full face of makeup and a hair team to help you with the polished content. But the polished content is for your website. This is where the website comes into play. So a website is where your very best information lives. So and social and your website can sort of coexist and complement one another. For my clients who want their feeds to be very professional, I recommend making use out of the real life social in different ways. For example, posting on the story. You could do a day in the life, ask me anything, like I talked about earlier. People are craving relatability, and people want to know that you too, the successful business person that they look up to, drink as much coffee as they do on a regular basis. They want to know why you love horses, what your embarrassing and super relatable moments are, what you do and why you do it. And they want to know the struggles that you've had and how you've overcome them. So you really need to be authentic. And it takes time to gauge that line. You're not necessarily going to know what works and what doesn't work right away, but that's why your social metrics are important. They'll tell you what works and what doesn't after a certain period of time. So tip number 3, know the difference between a boosted post and an ad on Facebook/Instagram. So a boosted post is a little less complex than an ad, and they're easier to get a handle on if you're not really comfortable with the back end of Facebook, meaning Facebook Business Manager and Facebook Ads Manager. So a boosted post is simply a regular Facebook or Instagram post that you pay to reach a wider audience. This ensures that your post is seen by a larger number of users or seen more often by users who are likely to engage with that content. Boosted posts have one key benefit over ads. They have free audience reach. So most brands boost a post after they have already had user engagement, which means that they can boost posts and they know that they already perform pretty well with their audiences. Facebook ads are similar to boosted posts, but there's a lot more under the surface of the ads. So Facebook ads offers an array of analytical options, offering different ways brands can track ad engagement and track campaign goals. So Facebook ads also offer highly specific targeting options, more so than with boosting a post. They allow you to target with age, gender, location, interests, etc. And Facebook ads also have more formatting options. So most Facebook ads formats have general business goals in mind already when it comes to creating ads. And they offer options for generic leads, directing users to websites, and promoting products. They're really more dynamic. Tip number 4, you want your customers to like and relate to you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if people don't like you, they probably won't want to buy your products or use your services. How do you get people to like them, like you? You show them that you're relatable. So you show them the work that you do and the fact that you're a credible source. So social media allows you to create trust between you and your customers. It helps you to build that brand, create a voice and image for it, and helps you create a reputation. helps you control the narrative a little bit. You want to be as true to people as possible, and you want to show them that you are there to help them. So, my final tip is don't reinvent the wheel when it comes to content. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but you can reuse content. You can reuse it often, in many different ways. Don't be afraid to say the same thing twice. Just make sure that you say it in a different way.
Kim, thank you so much. That was so informative. Lots of great questions too from our live audience. And as you can see on the slide here, you can contact Kim directly with any specific questions, or if you'd like to set up a plan for your own business. And as always, we are available at Strider to help with any of your equestrian activities as well. Thank you all so much for coming.